another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Tuesday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. And share the video on all social media platforms. Just got done watching Clemson almost pull it off, and that almost pulling it off would have been their third win ever in Chapel Hill at the Dean Smith Center, better known as the Dean Dome, against North Carolina in basketball. Good evening, Keveron. Glad to have you here. As always, Clemson had never won there until 2020, and then they won. Then they won again in 2024, so now they're like 2-60 all time. But I know to a lot of fans, getting that first win 6 years ago meant so much. But the way I look at it as, yeah, you won, but you're still 2-60. It's not like beating them one time all of a sudden makes the record, look a little better. You're still awful. If you were 1-61, is there really much of a difference between 1-61 and 2-60? But nevertheless, they almost won for the third time in 6 years in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels pulled it out 67-63. Hey there, Austin. Glad to have you here as always, but hard to believe that we are in the final week of the regular season in college basketball. Arizona was the number one team for a long time, but the last couple of weeks, they're no longer the number one team. I was watching the Clemson game tonight, and I don't watch ESPN unless there's a game on because it's all a bunch of idiots. I'm fantastic, Austin. Hopefully you are as well. But I noticed how on the bottom of the screen, Joe Lunardi, who is the bracketologist, had his top 8 teams. Well, I tell you what, he went out on a limb this year. He's got the top 4 teams in the AP poll as the top 4 seeds, and then teams 5 through 8 in the AP poll as the 2 seeds. Boy, he went way out on a limb this year, done a lot of research and worked hard to come up with that. But the number one team is Duke, followed by Arizona, Michigan, and UConn, Florida rounding out the top 5. Watching what I can, Austin. 6 through 10, we've got Iowa State, Houston, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Texas Tech. Hey there, AM. Glad to have you here on this Tuesday evening. And I tell you what, I'm not a Cornhusker fan, but I'm actually curious as to what they're going to do, if anything at all, when the tournament starts, because they've been in the top 10, about half the year, but they've been ranked almost the whole year. And Nebraska's never been a basketball school, so it'll be something if they make the tournament and then they end up going down to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. We have Illinois, number 11, Gonzaga, 12, Virginia, 13, Kansas, 14, and Purdue, 15, Alabama, North Carolina, St. John's, Miami of Ohio, and then Arkansas rounds out the top 20. Yes, I had a show Saturday and Sunday, Austin. Then 21 through 25, we have St. Mary's, Miami in Florida, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and St. Louis. Normally, when it comes to college sports, you ain't got to specify Miami. Most folks know it's the Hurricanes, but the Miami Redhawks in basketball in Ohio are actually in the top 20. Right now, they've had a very, 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 very good season, but hard to believe that won't be long and we'll be in conference play and then kicking off the college basketball NCAA tournament, March Madness, whatever you want to call it, but the regular season wraps up this weekend. And I told you a few weeks back here on the channel that it seems like once NASCAR starts, the season just flies by. And sure enough, here we are now, fixing to wrap up the regular season. Any thoughts on any of this? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What did one plate whisper to the other plate? Dinner is on me. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.